All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I believe this lesson is going to be two sides to the same coin. So, now, if you remember, before Trump got elected, people were going off on Biden because they did not want the New World Agenda to be passed. But clearly, it looks like the New World Agenda is going to pass regardless who's in office, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. As it says right here, you see Klaus Schwab and Elon Musk, and we're going to zoom in. Klaus Schwab says, or WEF says, why carbon tax is crucial to curbing climate change. Musk, it is high time there is a carbon tax. Universal basic income. 4 reasons cities should embrace universal basic income. Elon Musk, as a reminder, I'm in favor of universal basic income. mRNA myocarditis injections. 3 tactics to overcome C19 jab hesitancy. Elon Musk, to be clear, I do support vaccines in general and COVID vaccines specifically. The science is unequivocal. Transhumanism. Would you let your employer implant a C-hip in your hand? These workers have. Elon Musk, creating a new release is the thing that really matters for humanity to achieve symbiosis with machines. Right now, I don't have. Now, if someone wants to verify all this and go through Twitter, they go do that. And honestly, with the things that Elon Musk have tweeted, I've been surprised about. But honestly, at this point, I'm not starting to be surprised anymore by what Elon Musk tweets, because now it's just really out there. So as you can see, Elon Musk, who everyone was cheering for before he got into office, is on the same side with Klaus Schwab, according to, or WEF, according to what they want for the world. So it doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat, heads or tails. 2 horns on the same beast, 2 sides to the same coin. And we're going to get this.
Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, nor food stamps.
No, I'm not concerned. We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that.
Baby, they are so okay with you feeling that little pain that, of course, you will understand. House Republicans just released their budget plan with trillions of dollars of tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy and spending cuts at the expense of your ass. But of course, my ass doesn't just read the article. I go to the 45-page budget resolution document that the Republicans published themselves. Getting right to the details, whenever you see anything that says reduce the deficit, that means they're cutting spending. Whenever you see increase the deficit by, that means they're increasing the spending. So the Committee on Agriculture, they want to reduce the deficit by $230 billion for the fiscal year of 2025 through 2034, which is 9 years, so give or take $23 billion a year. But they're expecting you to not know that SNAP, or the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is also food stamps, is under the Department of Agriculture. They're expecting you to think U.S. Department of Agriculture only means farming, right? No. It's farming, food, forestry, rural development, and nutrition. One of the key things is also food safety. It's not like we need food safety or anything when the bird flu is now spreading to cattle and now affecting our milk, which some states don't even test it. But okay. But don't worry, our anti-war president is definitely going to give $100 billion to the Committee of Armed Services, which is our military. So he can take Greenland, Panama, and Canada because, that's going to lower our prices and make our lives better. Number 3, they're going to reduce the deficit in education by $330 billion. Who the fuck needs education when 54% of American adults read below the 6th grade reading level? Oh, this is another good one. Committee on Energy and Commerce. They want to reduce the deficit by $880 billion. Again, they don't want you to know that the Energy and Commerce Committee has the broadest jurisdiction of any authorizing committee in Congress. It legislates on a wide variety of issues, including healthcare, including mental health and substance abuse, health insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid. So again, $880 billion cuts means no more Medicaid, no more Medicare. And on top of that, they want to reduce the deficit and, oh yes, you guessed it, the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Of course they want to defund that and reduce the deficit by $50 billion. Who the fuck needs government oversight when Elon Musk and Trump can do whatever the fuck they want? Oh yeah, and they're saying fuck that infrastructure. You don't need transportation. You don't need more air traffic controllers. Oh, we got this all covered. They want to cut another $10 billion out of the transportation and infrastructure. It's not like we got planes falling out of the sky or anything. Don't worry about it. But oh yes, let's increase the deficit by more than $90 billion to the Committee on Homeland Security. If you guessed border security and enforcement because it does fall under the Department of Homeland Security, then you guessed right. Those billions of dollars will be used for his border wall and, of course, Guantanamo Bay so that the concentration camps could be full. And finally, the Committee on Ways and Means. He wants to increase the deficit by no more than $4.5 trillion. You guessed it. The Ways and Means Committee has jurisdiction over all taxation, tariffs, and other revenue-raising measures. This is all about giving tax cuts to the ultra-wealthy at your expense. Oh no, but you'll understand that, Little Pain. There will be no more.
So, right as this guy said, if you think Trump was going to save the middle class, well, no, it's more so he's probably going to get completely rid of the middle class by the time he's out of office, whether this is the last election or not. Now, we're going to get this scripture right here. Let's see. 1 Samuel chapter, I believe it's 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 6. And it says, "But the thing displeased," and this is the time when Israel was asking for a physical king. Now it says, verse 6, but the thing displeased Samuel, when they said, "Give us a king to judge us." And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. Verse 7, "And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them." Verse 8, "According to all the works which they have done since the day I brought them up out of Egypt, which even unto this day wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto me." Right. And if we keep going, says, "Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them." Verse 10, "And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king." Verse 8, "And he said, This will be a manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots." Right. And if you go on and so forth. So what happened was Israel already had it. Israel, had already had Yahweh to lead the way and to guide them into righteousness. But they wanted a physical king. Now, don't get me wrong, out of this came David, Solomon, Bert, and eventually our true king, who is to rule over us forever, Yahweh, and also in the kingdom, David will rule again. Right, but as you can see, Israel wanted to become like the other nations because the other nations had a physical king, so they wanted a physical king too. However, it says, "Choose none of the ways of the oppressor." Vert. Vert. "Envy," Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31, "Envy not thou oppressor, and choose none of his ways." Right. So this is the king, and why I said this is because a lot of people, they're going to vote, they're going for this election, and they're saying, Trump's going to save us out of this. Don't get me wrong. Trump has said some good stuff. Trump has says some stuff that is conservative, that seems family value, right? But at the end of the day, it all seems hogwash if you can't even afford to put food on the table for your family, right? Let's get this out right here. It says right here, is this pie graph describing U.S. spending accurate? Now, we're going to look at this real quick. Going to click it. It says, look at this pie chart of federal spending. Now, don't get me wrong, 1% of total spending is indeed 1 to 2% on food and agriculture. So this isn't too bad for a pie chart based on accuracy. Now it says military is 57%, education is 6%, government 6%, veteran benefits 6%, housing 5%, health 5%, international affairs 3%, energy environment 3%, science 3%, transportation 3%, labor 2%, and food and agriculture is 1%. It says right here, somewhere within the tiny orange silver at the bottom is the food stamp program that Republicans blame for our budget deficit. And so ends today's lesson in Republican logic, right? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, right? But just know, those that are signed with Trump and think he's going to save you, well, guess what? Some of y'all people may depend on SNAP. Some of you people may depend on food stamps, right? Or housing assistance, right? What are you going to do if Trump takes away all of that? We need to get right with the Lord. We need to get right with Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the people that suffer under this rulership, whether they're Republican or Democrat. Like I said, it's literally two sides of the same coin. Now we're going to get Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. It says, when the righteous thrive, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan. Right? So, thing is, right? What we gotta understand is, we don't have a righteous king ruling over us. Esau Edom can never be a righteous king. This is why, no matter who gets elected, the people are in a worse condition after every single election. People wanted Obama. Well, guess what? After people were cheering for Obama to get elected, who was a Hamite, by the way, people were in even worse condition before he got elected, because now people that stood for family values and wanted Obama, well, guess what? Gay marriage was legalized in the second term of Obama. So the people that wanted family values got screwed over. The people that wanted Trump, right? And by the way, if you don't know, these guys, they usually implement their full agenda within their second term, right? So they'll be on a low level, right? And then after a little while, they'll depend on the people to be fooled, right? So they could vote them in the second time. Regardless, as we know, these elections are selected, not elected, right? It just depends whatever shadow figure wants to be the face for the next 4 years of presidency, right? Which we know are the synagogue of Satan, right? So now you have Trump. We thinking he's going to do great, but all of a sudden we see him starting to do tariffs. Guess what? Who has to pay for tariffs? The people. The people got to pay for those tariffs. He wants to cut down on all these costs, but a lot of these costs that he wants to cut down are beneficial to the American people. So eventually, guess what? The people are getting screwed over. And he wants to stand up for conservative values. He wants to kick out LGBT and transgenderism, which sounds great, sounds good. But guess what? At the same time, he also put an executive order for $500 billion for Starlink. So what does that mean? That means he may say he wants to get rid of transgenderism and LGBT, but he still wants to see hippie people. He's still down with the agenda of having people take the C-hip, which is still wicked, right? And let's say he wants to have people, he wants to have a task force of Christianity. I believe he wants to have a task force that defends Christianity, right? That protects Christianity. But at the same time, he wants to sign laws that are against anti-Semitism. So if you speak the truth about the Bible, the real truth, guess what? Because the anti-Semitism law that Trump would pass, you would still get locked up and punished for it. So at the end of the day, he speaks as a double-edged sword. He speaks as a snake, right? And another thing too is he wants to make America great again, right? He wants to make America prosper. But it seems as though, according to his vision of prosper, it's the rich have more of the wealth and the people have less of the wealth. The American people barely have wealth to begin with. Now imagine Trump taking all of that away and completely cutting out the middle class. He says he stands up for family values, but yet he's basically going to do at a point where he cuts so much of the spending that's important to the people that people that people that are for family values won't even be able to provide food on the table for their children. Right? That means there's going to be job losses and economic pain coming. Trump very well could bring the economic collapse, but we don't know. We have to see and find out. Either way, we know the system is going down. Now it says in Micah, chapter 2, verse, I believe it's 10, or it's 1. Let's get this out. It's lucky. Alright. I think we got it. Alright, so I believe it's 10. Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Alright, yep. So it says in Micah chapter 2, verse 10, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword destruction, right? And what we know, this place is going to be destroyed by what? Nuclear missiles, nuclear fire. So America is going to have its sword destruction. So we need to arise and turn unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah with our heart, body, soul, mind, and spirit. Right? Because this, America, also known as spiritual Egypt, is not our rest. Because America is polluted with many types of abominations that we're supposed to take no a part of. Right? Now, as you can see, back then, people want to stay in Egypt. The Israelites didn't want to leave Egypt, right? Well, when they left Egypt, they wanted to go back. But Egypt was filled with abominations. So even when the C-hip comes out and, the draconian laws are getting crazy, a lot of our people are still going to want to take part in America. Right? They're still not going to want to turn to righteousness in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So therefore, those that want to continue doing wicked will be destroyed with the sword destruction. So brethren, this is not a rest. Don't be getting hype over which president gets in office. I don't care if they're a Democrat or if they're a Republican. It's two sides to the same coin. Two horns on the same beast. Alright? For this, with Esau ruling, is not our kingdom. Our kingdom is in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So I hope this lesson was very edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And thank you to the elders, apostles, and brethren help teach me this truth. Shalom. I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect and hopeful elect. Shalom.